Jay Opetaia is the real deal, man. Damn. That knockout against David Nyika, that was vicious, man. Vicious knockout. Brutal. Brutal, man. I'm gonna keep it real. He wasn't really on my radar like that. Do you know what I mean? Joe Patel wasn't really on my radar like that. But when you produce performances like that, those kind of highlights, yeah, trust me, you will convert a lot of people to believers. Don't get me wrong, like, don't get twisted. I've known of Joe Patel. I've watched a few of his fights, but I wasn't really that impressed by him. Do you know what I mean? I didn't really think like he's got that what do I call it, that superstar potential, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? Like a Usyk. Like, I don't really feel like he had that aura, but now I've kind of changed my mind. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest. Like, I've seen that performance, like watching the highlights, because I had to watch the highlights. I couldn't watch the full fight because I live in England. The fight, I believe, was taking place in Australia, and the timing, like, just didn't enable me to watch it live. Do you know what I mean? Because I have to go to work and all that. And I just want to say something, like, the promoters, yo, I think you missed the opportunity here to really, like, introduce, like, to showcase Jai Patel to the whole world. Just the timing of it. You know, like, the fight taking place on a Wednesday, for me, that's just all wrong. Do you know what I mean? And this is a Riyadh season card as well. That's what I don't get. Like, that type of fight, like Joe Patel, he's the Cruiserweight champion of the world, yeah. He has to be a prime time on a Saturday, do you know what I mean? Evening, whatever, do you know what I mean? Like, so what? So that I can get an opportunity to watch it. Millions of people around the world can get an opportunity to watch it. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like the timing, like, not everyone got to watch that fight, you know? And I feel like that's a missed opportunity. If you get, do you know what I mean? Do you get what I mean? Like, I know the fight took place in Australia. I get that time difference and all that, but I just feel like a fighter with his talent, a fighter of that caliber, the champion as well, I feel like it has to be prime time. Maybe it was prime time in Australia. It must be in it, but because here in England, when I checked it, the fight was like around 11, 12 noon. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's for me, that's crazy. But anyway, the fight, watching the highlights, it was brilliant. Do you know what I mean? Both fighters looked like they were going back and forth. It looked like Joe Pattaya got hurt a few times as well. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like David Nyika was just a walkover. Do you know what I mean? He came to fight, he came to bang, and it looked like both fighters went through it. And Joe Pattaya was just a better, stronger guy on the night, you know, in Australia. I guess it was nighttime there. So, yeah, man, congrats to Joe Pattaya. He's the real deal. Listen, he's converted me, man. I'm a believer right now. I've watched a few of his fights. Joe Pattaya, I wasn't really impressed when he fought against Breeders. I feel like that wasn't one of his best performances. Do you know what I mean? Had a lot of trouble in that fight against Breeders. And where I really took notice of Joe Pattaya was when he fought Jack Massey. Jack Massey is a tough guy, man. Comes forward. Do you know what I mean? High guard, whatever. Strong, very hard fighter to get rid of. But Joe Pattaya that day just oozed with class. Like, he showed so much maturity, so much control in that fight. Really showcased his skills. And when I was watching, I was like, yeah, this guy, like, he's gonna go places. He's gonna go places. But it still didn't really convince me that much. You know what I mean? I still thought, you know what? Well, Jack Massey is not really a top level fighter like that. You know what I mean? Even though he did dispatch him, he did get rid of him. Jack Massey's corner, you know, through the towel in and everything like that. So, you know, I have to give credit to Joe Pattaya. He did what he had to do in that fight. But these type of performances, this is what I like to see. I like to see champions go in there, bang it out, and knock the other guy the hell out. That's what I like. If you know me, that's what I like. I like fighters that don't shy away from the firing line. I like fighters who take risks. I like fighters who put themselves in the line of getting knocked out. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather see the champion get knocked the hell out than go out there and play safe, man. I'm not a big fan of fighters who play safe. I get it. It's boxing, combat sports. Sometimes you have to just do what they have to do. You gotta do what you gotta do to get through the fight and live for another day. Do you know what I mean? I get it. But me, most of the time when I'm watching a fight, I want to see knockouts, man. I want to see them go all out. Obviously show skill and everything like that. But Opetaia now, he's called out Gilberto Ramirez. Ramirez is the WBO and WBA Cruiserweight champion. So he's got 2 of the belts after he beat who did he beat? Who did Ramirez beat on his last fight? Let me check here. Ramirez. Who did Ramirez beat? Gilberto Ramirez. Yeah, in his last fight, who was it? Chris Billam-Smith. How can I forget that? Yeah, Ramirez beat Chris Billam-Smith. I'm not gonna lie, yeah. Ramirez didn't look too impressive to me during that fight. He didn't look too impressive. He was taking a lot of shots from Billam-Smith, yeah. And the cut above the eye of Billam-Smith, like, I thought like Ramirez should have took more advantage of that. He should have actually got rid of Billam-Smith, because Billam-Smith, I don't rate him as an elite fighter. So the fact that Ramirez kind of went to war with him and won on the cards, I was like, nah, I'm not really too impressed with this guy. And just looking at the 2 fighters and how their last performances have been, I'm favoring Opetaia in that fight. I feel like Opetaia is the better, well-rounded boxer. He's got the better skills for me. He's more disciplined. And he looks a cleaner fighter. Do you know what I mean? With Ramirez, I just feel like he's a bit clumsy. He's a bit clumsy and he gets hit a lot. So if he lets Opetaia hit him like that, listen, it's good night, man. It's night. He's going to get knocked the hell out. He's going to get knocked the hell out. And Opetaia right now, his next target should be Undisputed. Do you know what I mean? He wants to unify that division. Like I said already, Gilberto Ramirez, he's got 2 of the belts at WBO, the WBO and WBA. Opetaia, obviously, he's got the IBF cruiserweight belt, and I think the person who's got the WBC is Badu Jack, but he hasn't been active for a long time, so I don't know why he's still holding on to that belt. Maybe it's going to be vacated. We're not sure what Badu Jack is going to do next. Is he going to retire? Is he going to carry on fighting? But if Opetaia beats Ramirez, if that fight was to happen and Opetaia beats Ramirez and he goes up against Badu Jack, that would be interesting. Badu Jack, again, very skilled, man. Tough customer on the night. If Badu Jack is on it, you know what I mean? If he fully prepares for it and if he's on it, his cardio is on point, fitness, everything's on point. Listen, he can give anyone a fight on his night. And that'll be a 50-50 fight between Badu Jack and Opetaia if they were to meet to unite the division. Do you know what I mean? So, very interesting, man. The cruiserweight division is getting very interesting. Some people are even starting to say that Opetaia should fight Usyk. Now, listen, let's calm down. Do you know what I mean? Usyk is different level. It's different level at the moment. Do you know what I mean? And Usyk putting all that weight to get to the heavyweight division. Will Usyk actually want to come back down to the cruiserweight division? That's a risk. That is a risk. Even though I respect Alexander Usyk highly, and I do believe that he's one of the greatest fighters of all time. He's in my top 10 greatest fighters of all time. You know what I mean? Without a shadow of a doubt. But, going down to cruiserweight, especially against someone like a Opetaia, who's younger, fresher, who's faster. Do you know what I mean? I don't really see Opetaia having any issues with cardio and level of fitness during the fight. So he'll be able to bang and go the distance against Usyk. It's just whether Opetaia is skilled enough to go against Usyk. Do you know what I mean? Like Opetaia's got a heart, but would he have enough skills to break that code, the Da Vinci Code, which no one has been able to crack against Alexander Usyk? Do you know what I mean? That would be my worry for Opetaia. But in terms of just the youth, you have the youth on his side, you have the age, and if that fight was to happen in about 18 months time, it won't be now, it won't be the next fight, it won't even be the next 2 fights. Yeah, because Opetaia has to first unify the division. But if that fight was to happen in the next 18 months, 2 years, mate, Usyk is going to be what, 40, 41 years old? Mate, Opetaia is going to have a great opportunity, man, to beat the great Alexander Usyk. And with Usyk coming down the weight class, coming back down to cruiserweight, having to drop weight, do you know what I mean? That could impact him, man. That could impact him. I certainly feel like Opetaia can give Alexander Usyk some problems, a lot of problems, actually. But Alexander Usyk is just another level, man. He's so skilled. He's so skilled, man. I don't really see anyone beating Alexander Usyk at this moment of time. You know, let's see what Daniel Dubois can do if he gets through Joseph Parker on the 22nd of February. If Daniel Dubois gets past Joseph Parker, you know, with all that confidence taken into the rematch against Alexander Usyk, who knows? He's young, you know, over 10 years younger than Alexander Usyk. All that energy, man, he could bring some problem to Usyk as well. So let's wait and see, man. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Only time will tell. But yeah, Opetaia. Listen, I'm a believer now, man. Opetaia is that dude. He's the real deal, man. He's the power is there as well, man. He's knocking guys out now. The power's there. You know, he's got the confidence now, and I really feel like a showdown against him and Gilberto Ramirez. I think he'll dispatch Ramirez, man. I think Ramirez is too clumsy. And he's not disciplined enough, man. He eats too many punches. Even against Billam Smith, man, he was getting caught, man. Do you know what I mean? And I don't really rate Billam Smith that much. Do you know what I mean? So, Opetaia, listen, respect my man. Congrats on the win. I really hope that you do go forward and unify the division. I think it's going to be a great story for Opetaia. Do you know what I mean? He looks really like a guy that's down to earth, really humble. And yeah, man, I like those type of fighters. You know what I mean? Humble outside the ring, but inside the ring, beast mode. And they go for it. And they're knocking guys out. So very interesting few couple of months next year or, you know, or next year or two for Opetaia. You know, listen, the sky's the limit for him. He can go wherever he wants right now. But definitely the next fight up is him and Ramirez. It has to happen. Ramirez got two of the belts. And, you know, Opetaia wants to unify that division. So he has to go after Ramirez, which I think is going to beat him anyway. So, listen, he's going to get the job done. But thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for watching EMGM Sports. It's me, your boy, Enzo. I'll be back real soon with another one. Until then, stay blessed. Peace.